He, ladies and gentlemen, is a mechanical engineer with an MBA in marketing. The first question that comes to my mind is, what is he doing in publishing? So he's going to answer that question. But besides that, ladies and gentlemen, he's had a decade full of experience in multiple business domains. He's the business head of 3 separate and privately held firms working in various domains, whether it's book publishing, content creation, angel investing, and business consulting. Prior to his entrepreneurial ventures, he has also worked with several multinational companies in the media space, and it's his passion for writing and literature and books that led him and that gave him the motivation for building Lead Start Publishing. He also oversees all aspects of expanding the business, and I think this is just a stepping stone to the success that lies ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, Swaroop Nanda from Lead Start Publishing.
Thanks, Swela. I've never had that kind of an introduction. And to just answer your query of what is an engineer doing in publishing, you mentioned it directly. Pure passion. Now let me just come to this particular book. When we were evaluating romance fiction as a genre, if you see around the store, you will see a lot of teenage romances that are essentially dominating the market now. And when this came over, we were mildly perplexed if this kind of a story would at all cut through with a lot of audience, because all the bestsellers currently are all story segments where characters are based in the age of 15 to 30, that segment. And all of a sudden we had a very different kind of a romance and a very different kind of a love story springing up, which is where we decided to take this one on, because it really means love and shows bonding in various ways across with characters. You know, when the mother falls in love with another woman, another man, and how things shape up, character acquisitions that happen. It covers from the teenage love to domestic violence to a second marriage and happily ever after story. So it is really in true form a complete love story. I really would appreciate if you guys support the book, and please recommend it to your friends as well. Thank you. That's all that I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Swaroop. And finally, Nishi, ladies and gentlemen. Nishi Malhotra, a Delhi girl essentially, I must say. She's completed her education in Delhi. She's graduated from Jesus and Mary College with a first-class degree in psychology honors. So we have a string of different streams all culminating into writing. So I think that's very encouraging. And she also has a diploma in journalism from IMI Delhi and is currently pursuing a counselor's degree as well. She published her first book of poems, ladies and gentlemen, in the year 1999, and she also contributed several articles on the girl child to the Ministry of Health. She wrote an interview-based program for the All India Radio in the year 1999, where she interviewed the lovely Dr. Kiran Bedi, sitting right here with us, and several other victims of her story on domestic violence. And she also went on to write articles on women and drug abuse. So moving on from that, her first baby, her first book essentially, and this is a love story, so we're told. So Nishi, how did this idea germinate?
Well, I don't know. Basically, I guess I am a very romantic person at heart. I don't understand numbers so well. I don't understand concrete stuff, but I do understand a lot about love. And I guess from the time a child is born, the first touch of the mother in itself, what is it? The bonding is there, the love is there. So we all know what love is. But probably, we've all become so busy with our lives, we're building up commercial lives, careers, other things. So we hardly sit down and, sort of think about something which is love. Love has become a very, okay, I love you to anybody and everybody. It's become honestly very meaningless as far as I can see now. Now this is a story about a man who dares to fall in love with a woman outside the nuptial, outside the barricade of marriage. She's married, she has a child, And she goes through a lot of domestic violence at home. She bears it for about 10 years or so. And then suddenly something snaps, probably because she gets some love and attention from this man. And somewhere, you can make out, that there is love. This bonding is there, the magic is there. There is something that someone cares for you. Besides, without expecting anything from you, there is that love. And so the story moves on. It shows how she's a very, very timid personality and brought up in a very, she's brought up very nicely by her parents, but yet she's forced into a marriage, into a rich family and all, and probably she comes from a middle-class family. And but she gives up everything because she doesn't feel that just to eat and bring up children and sleep. That doesn't mean what a marriage is all about, when you're not treated properly. So then that is how the story goes on, and basically I've not really given it an end into a marriage. It's an eternal bliss, and once you read on, you'll actually feel the flow, It's like a pulse which flows on till the end. That's about the story. That's the gist of the story.
Thank you so much.
I want to ask her now. How did you imagine this? When did it strike? No, this is where I'm curious.
It's not my story.
No. It did not be your story.
Actually, I have a friend called Neha Sharma, who's currently in Canada. And she was a Bombay-based girl. She got married to a guy who was probably 10, 12 years older than her. And suddenly, I heard that she's going through a very violent kind of a life. He was hitting her, he was hitting the child. And so she was a very nervous kind of person. She was not opening. She wasn't confident that she'll bring her child on her own. But one day she met a man, probably 10 years younger to her, who pulled her out of this. And he had the courage to face his family, the society, the family, other people. And he actually took her away from all this. Though they're not married, they're living together even now in Canada. But they're very, very happy. And I was amazed by the kind of chemistry and the compatibility and the love. So somehow that touched me more than anything. And some elements, of course, could be my experiences, but in different ways.
It's something like the Amrita Preetham story. Anna? No? Something like the
I
Amrita.
guess. I've read that book. I'm forgetting the name.
Mary Amrita.
Yeah, exactly. So I was also touched by the book.
And now tell us then, when did you start writing?
Well, I started in March, I guess. And I just took about 4 months to do this book, honestly. Just 4 months.
That's wonderful.
When everybody would sleep at night, I would quietly get up and start writing. My husband hates this writing business. He's a chartered accountant, so he only understands numbers. And so I had to hide it from him and do it. I did it in my lunchtime in office. And that's about I completed in 4 months. And somehow I was lucky to get Swaroop. And Lead Start has been really very supportive. I must thank Lead Start and Cora, my editor. I'm not sure whether she's here. I don't think she is. But they've been wonderful. They've been very supportive. And we got it out in a, in a jiffy. I didn't know it's going to happen like this, And I still can't believe I'm here sitting with you, launching this book.
So there's a Bollywood a script called Tejas.
Tejas.
Movie का नाम भी हो गया Tejas.
Yeah.
You have the actress sitting right there.